Hi guys, welcome to this quick review of this Anthter CY-206 blender. I bought this about 2 weeks ago and I've been using this a couple of times, especially for milkshakes, and it has been working good so far. I would say yes, this is something which works. So is it perfect or not? Yeah, there are a couple of things which I definitely would mention as negative things. I mean, it is huge. I mean, if you want to have something huge, then yeah, you get something huge. But it's not only the picture here which is huge, it's also this thing here which is based on what I've been seeing from other blenders. This is actually too large. I mean, when you take this off here from the socket, yeah, this thing is almost the same height as this large pitcher, and for me this is definitely too large. We can definitely find smaller ones which have probably the same power. So when I bought it, I didn't realize that this thing is so huge. This is crazy. I mean, this is ultra heavy, huge. I mean, it has a decent, nice shape. It's not an ugly one or so. We have these cooling openings here. It's a solid thing. It has these rubber feet. I would say it's pretty good, solid, sturdy, rather beautiful. I mean, there are some really ugly blenders around, so I would say it's on the nicer side. And I would say we can also consider this to be safe. We have this sensor button here. You can see when you put it on top, this thing will go and push down this button, and only then you can start it without having it on top. You can't do anything. You can see there's absolutely nothing I can do. This is good. And we have also some other child safety here built in. I'm going to show you that. So everything looks pretty sturdy, solid, but it's huge. It is really huge. I mean, if you really want to have something huge, maybe that's something for you, but for me it's still too large somehow. I mean, the picture, yeah, when you want to have a certain amount of like smoothie or milkshake or so, you need something large, but this part underneath doesn't have to be so large. Yeah, here we have some writings on the picture itself. We have liters and we have cups. That can definitely help, but there's one thing here already, one really bad thing I would say, and this is that we cannot remove the blade for cleaning. I mean, the blade has actually a couple of different blades. They are pretty sharp, I would say, not ultra sharp, but they are sharp enough, and they cut on 3 different height level, but we cannot remove that. I mean, there's a screw here, and maybe if you cannot fix that without, maybe you could remove and clean and reseal everything, but it could also leak and never really be leak proof again after that. So this is what they recommend: never open this thing. Yeah, this is something which I have seen with other blenders, that you can just unscrew it here and then take everything out and clean everything nicely. Yeah, this is definitely, I would say, some first design flaw here. Yeah, apart from that, there's another problem here with this jar or pitcher here, and that's it's plastic. I mean, it's not super thin, but it's also not super thick. It probably will work for ice. I mean, they say you can use that for ice, but what always happening if you are not using glass, then over time it looks really ugly. With the ice, when you are just putting in the large ice cubes, when it hits the knives, then they shoot towards the outside of the pitcher, and it creates some ugly, nasty things, and over time it will look totally cloudy and not nice anymore. If you want to have something which lasts really long, stays long in nice beautiful shape and will never crack, and especially when you want to use it for ice, go with thick glass and never go with plastic. This is my advice. I had a plastic one long time ago. Yeah, in the listing I had the impression that it would be glass, but it's definitely not. The lid is rather good. We have this seal all around, and I have been filling it to the very top here for milkshake, and it hasn't been leaking, so it was absolutely totally full, and I have closed the thing and started this, and it didn't spill or so. The lid definitely is very good. By the way, I don't know if the total height is in the listing. With the lid it's around 19 inches without the lid. I mean, you can remove and store it separately, so it will be just below 18 inches. So I've added some water and closed the lid to show you how this works. We have to turn it on here. That's the good thing. You cannot turn it on just with one button, like accidentally. For small children or so, when they hit something it won't start. So you have to turn it on, and there's some light, but it's very, very dark. You barely can see that. That's also one of my other complaints here. I mean, when you pay almost $100 for such a thing, you would actually expect that it has some kind of nice illumination, especially during the night. It has very, very few illumination. I mean, LED lights here. I'm going to show you that. So usually you have it on the off position. You can put it down to the M position, and then there will be some illumination here for the eyes. There are 3 buttons: the ice, the smoothie, and the soup. So I can start it here. You can see it does it automatically. I can also stop it again. So that's the eye thing, and you can see it's really harsh. It will shoot these ice cubes towards the outside of the pitcher, and it will look ugly after a short time, I can tell you. Then we have the smoothie. Yeah, it's almost crazy. I mean, it goes really, really super fast. You can still see the water spinning, and then here's the soup. So you can definitely see that it's super strong. There is no doubt about that. If you want to have something super strong, yeah, maybe that's a thing for you. It's also very loud. I mean, you can use it without earplugs, but it's already pretty close, I can tell you. But you can see there is nothing outside. It's definitely leak proof. So I would say it's a solid thing. It's maybe not my preferred thing, but I couldn't test everything. So maybe there are better things around. I cannot tell you it's working, but there are really some things which I do not like. There's also a pulse mode here. So there's also something to say. I think when we go into the M mode, it's just working for some time. I had it when I haven't been using it for too long time, and then pushed it down for the pulse mode. It didn't work, so I think there is some kind of timer. But now you can see it's working. So you can definitely work with that. If you have some stubborn things which you need to cut, this can also help. Then yeah, usually it's in the back position, but we can also turn it to the upside and have then the manual speed, which is already pretty fast. So I cannot tell anything during the time when it's running. It's too loud. Yeah, that was pretty hefty, pretty strong, pretty loud. Yeah, powerful, definitely, no doubt about that. Regarding the cable, I don't know if there's something in the listing, but I've been measuring that with the tape and it showed around 44 inches, which I would say is also rather on the short side. For older things, usually you have a longer cord. For newer things, yeah, it looks like it's a tendency to have shorter cables, which is a little bit a pain, especially if you don't have too many outlets. And for me, it's just working, but there's no extra cable. It's just working really tight. So yeah, that's actually it. You can see still totally watertight. There's no leaking, not a single drop here. So I'm taking it off. Here you can see that works pretty easy, and then you can remove the lid. And now we are trying to pour it in, and you can see it's really working nicely. This is one of the better things, definitely. There is no spill, no leaking, no matter how full or how empty this thing is. There's almost not a single drop wasted. This is definitely a really good shape, good design, this nozzle here. Yeah, I'm not saying this everything bad. I mean, in general, it works really good. For me, it's just a little bit too bulky, too heavy, too powerful. But if you need something really strong, maybe even some kind of semi-professional thing, that could be the thing for you. And I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing down into the description, so you can check it out, order it out from there if you like it. And I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.